At the end of this video, you'll know the quickest way to connect with a new woman. And without wasting your time with too much talk, let me tell you the fastest way is to skip all the surface level and go straight to emotional resonance. So, how do you actually do that? Now the question is, how do you actually do that? There are 6 steps, and if you follow them, even without forcing it, you'll start noticing how almost any woman you speak to begins feeling a real connection within minutes. It'll feel like you just slid right into her mind. Step 1. Emotional impact greater than logical similarity. Let's start by looking at how most guys approach women. They play it safe, they try to sound polite and likable, so they go for the typical questions. Where are you from? What do you do? What do you study? Basically, they try to prove they're smart, respectful, and have common interests. The so-called good guy routine. But here's the twist. Connection isn't built on having things in common. It's built through stimulation. Her nervous system isn't searching for shared hobbies. It's scanning for feeling, for something that jolts her awake. And that's why emotional spikes crush logical rapport every single time. Logic goes through her head, but emotion? It goes through her body. And guess what the body remembers? Put yourself in her shoes. She's got a bunch of guys messaging her. Most say the same predictable lines. Hey, you're gorgeous. What do you do? Even the ones who are good-looking or interesting, if they don't make her feel something, she forgets them instantly. But then you walk in, and instead of doing the usual routine, you throw her off just a little, not in a weird way, just unexpected. Maybe you challenge her, tease her, or throw in a playful curveball that catches her off guard for a second. Boom! That tiny flicker she feels in her chest, that's you getting past her emotional firewall. Because that's how the brain marks moments as meaningful, through emotion. So if you create even a flash of curiosity, excitement, or surprise, her brain goes, hold up. What was that? Focus on this guy? And suddenly, you're not just another face in the crowd. You're the one who made her feel something real. That's the whole game. You don't need her to fall for you right away. You just need to affect her emotions, even subtly. When you learn how to do that, you become the one her mind keeps circling back to. And when you're the most emotionally engaging guy in the room, everything else naturally starts to orbit around you. So yes, emotion beats logic. Every time. Because connection doesn't grow from what you know. It grows from what you stir up. Step 2. Break the pattern immediately. This right here is the shift that separates you from the rest of the crowd. Once you understand this, you'll stop sounding like every other guy and start being the one she can't stop thinking about, even if she tries. So, what does it actually mean to break the pattern? It means you disrupt the script that's already playing in her head. Because let's be honest, most conversations with new guys sound exactly the same. She meets a guy, and it goes something like this. Hi, I'm Alex. Where are you from? Oh, nice. What do you do? Cool. I do this. Polite, safe, predictable. She smiles, nods, answers out of habit, and 5 minutes later, she doesn't remember a single word because she's had that exact interaction 1,000 times. It's like white noise, background chatter, instantly forgettable. That's why you need to shake her out of autopilot fast. Because the guy who interrupts the routine, not the richest, not the flashiest, but the unexpected one, he's the one her nervous system flags as important. Picture it like this. She's mentally scrolling through people the way she scrolls through social media. Tap, tap, swipe. Nothing sticks. Then suddenly, something strange pops up. Something different. She stops. Her brain jolts for a second and says, wait, what was that? What was that? Moment? That's you. You walk up and instead of asking, what's your name? You look her in the eye and say, you looked like you were about to leave, but something made you stay. Did I guess right? Or while everyone's trying to be cool and polite, you smile slightly and say, you've got this whole serious vibe going on, but I have a feeling you're hiding your fun side. Don't disappoint me. Now she's off her script. Now she's not reaching for the usual answers. Now she's reacting to you. You've snapped her out of her mental routine and placed her into a moment she didn't see coming. That's rare, and that's gold. Because people don't remember normal, they remember the interruptions. And here's something most men don't realize. The human brain is wired to ignore what it already understands and obsess over what it doesn't. If you follow the script, you vanish from memory. But if you disrupt it, you stick. Even if she wants to forget, her mind loops back, trying to make sense of you. That's called curiosity. And curiosity is what anchors emotional interest. So remember this one thing. In the early moments, you're not in competition with other guys. You're in competition with her expectations. If you act like every other guy, you're done before you even start. But if you shift the rhythm, even just a little, she tunes in. And once you've got her focus, connection becomes a natural result. Don't be a background character in her night. Say something that wakes her up. Break her mental routine, and you'll be the one she's still thinking about when the night ends. Step 3. Focus on her inner world, not her resume. Forget what you've heard about asking her about her job, what school she goes to, or what her 5-year plan looks like. That's not the real her. That's just her professional mask, the version she shows to strangers, professors, co-workers, and boring dates who are trying too hard to be polite. But you're not here to impress anyone with polite small talk. You're here to actually connect. And to do that, you don't speak to the surface. You speak to the part of her that rarely gets touched, the real her hiding underneath all the formal answers. Let me break it down for you. Let's say she tells you she's studying psychology. Most guys respond with something like, "Oh, nice. Do you want to become a therapist?" That's safe, it's polite, and it's instantly forgettable. But you? You say something like, "Psychology, huh? So is that because you want to understand people? Or control them?" Boom. You didn't just talk to her major. You reached straight into her mind. Now she can't just reply with facts. Now she has to feel her answer. Now she's revealing something beneath the surface. And that's where the connection really begins. You're not the guy asking what she does for work. You're the guy who asks, "What's something about you that people always get wrong?" Or maybe, "Have you ever met someone who made you feel understood without even having to explain yourself?" That's the level where attraction flips from casual to deep. You're not collecting basic information. You're creating an emotional moment. Because when a woman feels seen, like truly, emotionally seen, it hits her like a chemical rush. It makes her feel safe, alive, and curious all at once. And suddenly, you become the one person who sees the version of her that nobody else has the patience or depth to reach. That's the version of her that stays up late thinking about you. That's the version that starts opening up. That's when the real spark ignites. So every time you're talking to a woman, stop and ask yourself, am I speaking to her resume? Or am I speaking to her inner world? Because the second you get access to that inner world, you stop being just another guy. You become the one who gets her. And that's the one she doesn't forget. Step 4. Create micro-mystery or tension. Ever notice how the person who says the least is often the one people pay the most attention to? That quiet guy in the corner who only speaks when it matters, and everyone listens. Or that girl who suddenly goes silent mid-conversation, eyes fixed on her drink, and you can't help but wonder what's running through her mind. That's not random. That's micro-mystery. And when it comes to women, it's one of the most powerful and addictive tools you can use. Now, don't get it twisted. You're not trying to act like some edgy movie character wearing sunglasses indoors, brooding in the shadows. That's try hard. What you're aiming for is subtle tension, emotional friction, a little bit of curiosity that lingers, because it doesn't get solved right away. See, most guys overshare. They meet a girl and start unloading their life story, where they work, childhood trauma, their big goals, their last heartbreak. She didn't ask for all that, and now she knows everything, No edge, no mystique. But you give just enough. You're honest, but you don't spill everything. You drop a thread and leave it hanging. Something like, yeah, that city reminds me of a strange chapter in my life. I'll tell you about it another time. Then smile and move on. And that's when the real magic happens. Because her brain hates open loops. It will chew on that line over and over. What did he mean by that? Why didn't he tell me? Was it something wild? Something deep? Was it about another girl? And now, you're living rent-free in her thoughts. Because once she's invested in solving the mystery that is you, you've captured her attention in a way most guys never even get close to. The same goes for tension. Let's say she playfully challenges you. Most guys crumble. They chuckle nervously or agree just to be liked. But you push back lightly. If she says, "I don't date guys like you," you flash a half smile and say, "Good. I don't date girls like you either, but this should be interesting." Now you've created a spark, a tension she can feel, and you're not being rude, you're just unresolved. And unresolved tension, it's magnetic. Think of it like a song that ends right before the final note. It keeps replaying in her head, waiting to finish, and only you have the key. That's what micro-mystery is. That's how tension pulls her in. And that's how you stop being just a casual interaction and start becoming the mental loop she can't turn off. Step 5. Use humor that frames you as the prize. You've probably heard the advice a million times. Just be funny. Sure, easy to say. But here's the thing. What kind of funny? Not all humor works the same way. Some guys use it to entertain, others use it to get validation. But the kind of humor that truly draws a woman in is the kind that assumes you're already the prize. It's not about cracking jokes. It's about an attitude, confidence wrapped in a smile. Here's an example. A guy chasing validation might say, "Oh, I hope I'm not boring you. Haha." That's weak, submissive. It's basically screaming, "Please like me." Now compare that to a guy who is the prize. Be honest. How lucky do you feel right now sitting here with me? Same playful energy. But the second line flips the frame entirely. Suddenly she's thinking, "Wait, am I lucky?" And that's where attraction actually happens. Because when your humor assumes your value, she stops sizing you up and starts trying to impress you instead. It's that cheeky, confident charm that says, "I'm not trying to win you, you're trying to keep up." And the best part? It's not threatening or aggressive. It's wrapped in playful humor, so it slips past her mental filters. She can't call it cocky because you're smiling and laughing. But she feels the message anyway. This is playful confidence. It makes her feel like she's stepped into your world. You're the main character, she's the love interest, and she has to earn her next scene. That subtle shift from "please like me" to "you're lucky I'm here," that's what makes her lean in. That's what builds tension. That's what sparks the chase. So yes, keep being funny, but don't be a clown. Be the prize, who just happens to be hilarious. Step 6. Don't try to impress. Make her react. Trying to impress her is the fastest way to reveal that deep down you already see her as above you. And when that happens, it kills everything. The tension, the mystery, the polarity. The moment she senses you're performing for her, she mentally places you beneath her. Think about it. When a guy brags about his car, his money, his travels, or his accomplishments, she doesn't think, "Wow, he's impressive." She thinks, "Why is he telling me this?" Truly impressive men don't try to impress. They create reactions. They speak and watch what it stirs. They tease, then pause to see her response. They drop a bold statement, then lean back. Let her feel it. Let her react. Let her chase. It's not about being cold. It's about being the one who controls the emotional current instead of being swept up in it. Here's the crucial shift. When you're trying to impress, your focus is on you. How you sound, how smart or cool you seem, how well your story lands. When you make her react, your focus is on her. You observe. You read her energy. You guide the rhythm of the moment. You lead. And that's the real flip. Suddenly, she's not asking herself, "Do I like him?" She's asking, "Why did he say that? What did he mean by that smile? Why isn't he trying harder?" You hijack her mind, because people don't fall for those who try to win them. They fall for those who pull them into something they can't explain. And that something? It's when you stop showing her your value and start triggering her emotions. One approach makes her nod, the other makes her obsess. Calibrate based on energy. This means one simple thing. Stop reacting to her words. Start reacting to her vibe. See, so many guys try to impress, flirt, or be funny, without even noticing if she's mentally present. They go full speed, while she's emotionally parked somewhere else. She's giving dry, one-word replies, and they keep texting like she's hyped. She's tired or distracted. And they're trying to flirt like it's a party. It's like playing music for someone wearing headphones. Here's the truth. Women don't remember what you said. They remember how in sync it felt. If she's low energy and you're hyped, it feels off. If she's playful and you're too serious, it feels off. If she's opening up and you respond with a joke, it feels off. That mismatch, that's what kills the vibe. But when you calibrate, when you match her emotional rhythm and then subtly lead it forward, that's when it feels like you just get her. That's when she starts saying things like, "I don't know why, but I feel so comfortable around you. I feel like you understand me. I don't usually open up like this." It's not magic. It's reading energy. And no, it's not about being passive or walking on eggshells. It's about observing her reactions, knowing when to pull back, when to push forward, and when to simply sit in silence until she's ready to follow your lead. When you put all of this together, even without realizing it, you'll find yourself meeting new women effortlessly. Any girl you talk to will feel like you're not ordinary. She'll remember you. Before I close, here's a golden rule to carry for life. Don't just memorize this, internalize it. Make it part of your nature. Something instinctive. At first, you'll consciously remind yourself to apply it. Over time, it will become second nature. And that's when you develop the aura that naturally draws women, the aura that makes them think about you, even when you're not aware. And if you've watched all the way to this point, I just want to say, I appreciate you. This was Stoic Pro, and I'll see you in the next video.